should go listen to that sermon.
Go listen to the sermon. Lane today said that it was like, it was a good sermon on how we should live between the two comings of Christ, like the two advents.
So you're going to get to watch live a changing of the first thing. I think we should say the thing you should understand is this sermon explains to you how you should live between the two advents. All right, that's going out. Number 2 is something that you can talk about.
Yeah, Soup Supper.
Soup Supper.
Yeah, so Soup Supper is in a couple weeks.
What is the Soup Supper?
It's in 2 weeks. So every year we come together on the Saturday before Thanksgiving, and Russ walks in tired because he's ridden the tour through Tucson, and people walk in with their soup, ready to tell everybody that they have the best soup. And we all come together and have this really fun time. There's games for kids to play, Legos, and you know what? We don't get to do any of that this year.
No, because we are crammed into the sanctuary, and usually there's like 80 people.
Yeah, and there's extra people.
Yeah,
it's a space,
you invite your friends.
People invite their friends.
Yeah.
And we don't get to do that.
We don't get to do that this year. So what are we doing instead?
So instead, we are meeting for Soup Supper.
On November.
Calling it Soup Supper.
The 21st.
On November the 21st. And we are going to go to the park. We're going to go to Fort Lowell Park.
Fort Lowell Park.
Fort Lowell Park, which is on Craycroft.
Craycroft. They can, because there people can see us. So it's Craycroft.
Yep, on Craycroft. Yeah, you can. It's like that direction or something. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I get so turned around in this building.
Yeah, it's this way.
It's that way.
Yeah. Anyway,
Fort Lowell Park. The play structure that's in Fort Lowell Park. There's a Ramada right next to it. We have the Ramada, which has a limited capacity, but we have it for the whole day, so people can go there anytime. But we're having dinner. What we're saying is we're having dinner at 4.
Yeah. You can get there at 3.
You can get there at 3. We're having dinner at 4, and then we have the baseball field. So the baseball field, and we're gonna have lights on it, so we'll be able to play some baseball, maybe some kickball if people want to.
Volleyball will be set up.
We'll have volleyball, and it's just gonna be a really fun time. We're inviting you to bring your own food.
Yeah, so you have to bring your own food.
Yeah.
We're not sharing food. If somebody walks by and says, "Hey, I'd love to taste your soup," and you're like, "Well, I don't care," then you can give them a taste of your soup or a bowl of your soup. Or if you don't want to have soup, as Mark said, I mean, it's a soup supper, but bring a sandwich.
Soup supper, but you could bring a sandwich if you wanted to.
Right.
You know.
Well, there will be, I think,
it's that kind of
some
year.
electricity provided. I mean, I'll probably have an extension cord and some power strips.
Yeah. So if you bring your crock pot, we'll have a space set up.
So the thing to know, number 2, is the Soup Supper, which has been going on for 20 odd years,
is happening this year
at Fort Lowell Park. 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock
on the 21st of November.
Bring your own food.
Number 3.
Dun,
dun, dun, dun. Number 3 is this week's sermon is called Deep Breath. I don't know why we titled it that, but I feel like it's a really important message, and we want you to listen or sign up. And so we're going to make an announcement that I haven't even talked to Mark about, but we've chatted about here. So he may veto it live on air. But we're still working on the 20-person limit per service. But what we're saying, just because of the way attendance has been working, 1, we'd encourage you to come to the evening service because there's plenty of room.
Mm-hmm.
But 2, don't worry about doing this the every other week.
Yeah.
If you want to sign up, if there are too many signed up, we will let you know and say, hey, you should come to the evening service or you should go to the morning service. There's space for you. That's what we'll do.
Don't worry about every other week.
Right. We are working on having some form of childcare in
both services.
In both services, but the morning one right now is the one we're working on and getting that put together. And once we have that in a good rhythm, we will get the evening one going.
So this Sunday, if you can, come to church.
Yes.
If you cannot, watch. That was good.
Ooh, we did that.
Nice.
All right. So what are the 3 things? Number 1, the sermon. What you should know is it is about what it's like to live between Advent number 1, which is Jesus' birth, and Advent number 2 is the not yet coming of Christ.
Yes.
So how we live out this life together. And then number
two is Soup Supper on November 21st
at 4 o'clock
at Fort Lowell Park at 4 o'clock.
And number 3, attend or watch the sermon this Sunday and the service and participate.
Yes.
And we're going to give you a bonus. There's a brand new song that you should be listening to. It's called Armor of God, and this Sunday's sermon will be based on a song called Wait and See. So,